Hi, my name is Frankie Luna and I am 15 years old.
Hi, my name is Pablo Luna Jr. and I'm 19 years old.
And we're from a place in South Jersey called Columbus, New Jersey. We are flower farmers and we grow over 40 varieties of flowers. We also have Mexican specialty herbs, and our farm name is called Luna Family Farm. I started farming recently in 2018 when my dad started the farm. My father, on the other hand, has been farming for about 30 years. He started farming when he first came to the U.S. at the age of 13. Before starting the business, he worked with the previous wholesale flower farmer in the area, where he learned how to cultivate, cut, and take care of the flowers. My father started the farm in 2018. He was motivated to start the farm because ever since he was a child in Mexico, he was surrounded with agriculture. His dream was to one day own a farm, so he made it come alive with us by his side. He has always been a hardworking and outgoing person, so this did not scare him at all. And for you, what is a typical day on the farm like?
A typical day on the farm is we actually start pretty early. We start around 6 a.m. Kind of get everything all situated by 6:30. We kind of have our cup of coffee in the morning, have everything nice and ready to go. We kind of, since we have a lot of varieties of different types of flowers, we kind of just jump to one field to the other. We cut a certain amount depending on the day, whether it's going to be a busy market next day or kind of a somewhat good market. We cut a little more than average on a good market, especially for the weekends. We usually start from, we have two sections of our fields. We usually have the back fields that has around, I want to say 20 varieties, and then the front fields that has around 30 varieties. And we usually kind of cut a little bit of each, and sometimes if we have time, we kind of go into the greenhouses, cut whatever needs to be cut in there. We usually have our very famous flowers that are called the Lisianthus, which pretty much takes up a good amount of all of our 6 greenhouses. 2 are occupied with the marigold that we actually don't cut until later on in the season, around, I want to say, early October for Day of the Dead.
And what is special about growing flowers?
What makes growing flowers so special is that when it comes to growing vegetables, we did grow a certain amount of vegetables during our first season. It was pretty nice, but I felt that it was very common among a bunch of farmers around the city. And when it came to cut fresh flowers, I felt it was very unique, very special, and especially since our father had a very long time working with cut flowers since he came into the U.S. I want to say it makes a more memorable and more type of unique type of farming than it does rather than vegetables.
Is there one flower you love the most and why?
I'd probably say the blue salvia. A lot of people get it mixed up with lavender. Both look very beautiful. Lavender has a very nice smell to it, but the blue salvia has another unique smell to it that makes it smell very nice. And the color of it comes when you first start cutting it comes into like a light baby blue, and later on when you cut it on to the season, it turns into like a deep purple that looks a lot like lavender, but both smell just as great.
My favorite flower is probably the peony. It smells really nice and it's a nice spring flower. It reminds me a lot of Mother's Day. Is there anything that is inspiring you this year or anything new that we are going to try or grow?
So for this year, what we really have been trying to do since our first season growing, we've been mostly starting off in early spring and then ending usually Christmas Eve or the 23rd of December. So we've been ending pretty much right before Christmas and starting a little after spring. But what my main goal for this season is to try to start up more greenhouses and try to farm all year round. So not only that we have flowers for the spring, summer, and winter and late fall, but also have cut flowers all year round.
And what advice do you have for others who want to start their own flower farm or farm in general?
When it comes to farming in general, I personally just started learning more about it. I learn more about it every year as long as I work with my father, and I'm still a very young person and I still have a lot to learn. But when it comes to farming, it is a very huge risk, and you don't have to be scared about it. It's a very nice thing. It is a little bit of hard work when it does come to being very hot outside, very cold outside, but through the ups and downs, it's very nice, very peaceful. And at the end of the day, it's nice seeing people appreciate your work, especially when you grow it from the ground up.
Yeah, one thing I would say is do not hesitate and take as many risks, but also be careful. And it really pays off after you see the customer smile. But always try your best, and always try your best to make the customers happy, or whoever you're giving it to. And then the last thing for us is where you can find us. You can find us at our retail markets. They're all in Manhattan. We go to Union Square on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We are also at Columbia University on Thursdays. We're at Morningside Park, which is between 110th and what's
110th and Manhattan Avenue.
okay, and Stuyvesant Town Oval, which is 14th Street and Avenue A, and also Tompkins Square Park, which is also on Avenue A.
And you could all find that through Grow NYC. It's a very beautiful program, very nice, welcoming people. And we're also through another program called Down to Earth. Very nice people, very humble family, very good to work with them. And you could either find us through the Grow NYC website or the Down to Earth website.
And if you have any questions, you can always notify us on our Instagram, which is at Luna Family Farm.